Hello again! We've landed at our destination on our way to the new dream job of an engineer in a fast-charging cell company called StoreDot. But alas, we lost the suitcase! In the previous video, we passed the first stage of system modeling representing objects. As we saw, everything around us can be described as objects, not just inanimate objects, but also information and even living beings like cats and people. The lost suitcase is certainly an object. Now we are looking for it among all the different objects in the airport. But good engineers must notice not only things that exist around them, but also things that happen. Activities, actions, procedures, all these things are OPM processes. Indeed, here around us in the airport there are other things apart from objects. We see airplanes taking off and landing, passengers checking in, and security guards checking people. These are all things that occur, but they do not exist. In OPM, we call them processes. So while objects exist, processes happen. Processes do not happen in vacuum. They happen to objects, and while happening, they transform the objects upon which they operate. The world outside the airport also contains processes. For example, during this course, I am teaching, or at least trying to teach, and hopefully you are learning. You should, if you really want the job. Job searching is also a process. In OPM, a process is represented by an ellipse with a blue contour. Here is what it looks like. Notice you can model any system in the world, even the most complex ones, using only two things: objects, things that exist, and processes, things that happen to objects and transform them. We represent objects by boxes and processes by ellipses. This is the secret power of OPM. You can model the most complex systems while using a minimal set of building blocks, objects and processes. It is not a coincidence that OPM stands for Object Process Methodology. Here is how your flying system, your journey, looks like in OPM. This object is you, the passenger. Here is the process of purchasing the flight ticket online. Here is checking in to the airport, boarding the airplane, flying, the flight itself, landing, and searching your suitcase. This is a simple model of a complex system, as it uses just processes and objects. And here is something important. Remember, in the last video, we saw that there are physical objects and there are informatical objects. Your suitcase and the airplane are physical objects. So in our model, we made them shaded. Your credit card number is an informatical object, as it is a piece of data. Therefore, it is depicted flatly without shading. Like objects, processes can also be physical or informatical. Taking off and landing are physical processes, but ordering the flight ticket and boarding online are both informatical processes. Like objects, physical processes in our model are also shaded. In summary, this is how we represent a physical process in OPM, and this is how we represent an informatical one. Sorting the suitcase at the airport is a physical process, and so is loading it on the airplane. These processes are connected to an object which is also physical, the suitcase. A physical process is a process that acts on a physical object. Lifting the suitcase is also a physical process because it affects a physical object. When you went looking for your suitcase, it was also a physical process. Your legs were doing a lot of work. Even typing on a computer keyboard to look for your suitcase in the airline database was a physical process. Here, the fingers did the work. But, and here is what's really important, searching for the suitcase inside the database, the action performed by the computer of a baggage management information system, is an informatical process. Why is that? Because it does not relate to the physical baggage, but to data representing the whereabouts of the suitcase within the information system. Let's hope that the database search for your suitcase will come up with something. Hallelujah! You finally got your suitcase back, so we can happily proceed to your job interview. But wait a moment. How did conceptual modeling help us find the suitcase? When you create a model of a complex system, like that of an airport, using a simple language of processes and objects, the system can be understood and explained clearly. The model helps making the system understandable and functional even when it's operated by employees in different countries, from different departments, and with different roles. The reason is that they are all speaking the same modeling language. This is how OPM creates a common visual language, allowing us to quickly identify, model, and understand problems, and finally solve them. That's how you find lost suitcases, and that's how you help different people and organizations work together. Great! Now you already know what processes and objects in OPM are. We still need to learn about states. And then you will almost be ready for your interview. This will happen in the next unit. Hopcat, come on! We have an interview to go to. Where are you, Hopcat? What a cat! Always disappearing when you need it the most.
A process is a thing that transforms one or more objects. A thing is an object or a process.